Okay, so now we got to find the domain and the range. So domain is always your x values. So what do you think your domain is? It's going to be all real numbers because the absolute value keeps going. So it's all real numbers. What do you think your range is? So John just said it's y such that y is greater than or equal to -1. My lowest y value is -1. Everything is larger, so y is less than or equal to -1. It does equal -1 because that's your vertex. What? I did write it greater than.
Yeah, you said less than.
Oh. So all of our numbers are greater than -1. And that's our domain and range. For example 3. Here's example 4. What do you notice the difference between this one and the other 3 that we've done?
It has a negative.
Yep, it has a negative in the front. Just so you know that negative will not affect your vertex. You're going to find your vertex just like we found it in example 3. Then that negative will play a role when we go to do our table, okay? So how do you find your vertex again?
X and whatever it is equals 0.
And so what does x equal? So my vertex, remember, this is my x coordinate of my vertex. What is my y coordinate of my vertex? Where did we get the 2 from? I want to make sure everyone knows where we got the 2 from. After the absolute value plus 2. So again, notice the negative in front of the absolute value. It does not play a role in the vertex. We find our vertex just like we did before. Okay, so let's make a graph. Okay. I guess I decided to make mine a little bit bigger. Okay. So let's graph that. We're going to go over to +1, up to +2. Now remember what I said. I want to pick some. Okay, so now we need to pick points to the left and points to the right. So we have our x's and we have our y's. So let's go out this way. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go out -6. Why? I just picked it. Okay, I didn't do anything special. I just picked it. So if I'm going to go every 2, so what would be my next number? -4 and then -2. Now that gives me 3 on this side. Now I need to go on this side. So let's start with, it's 2. 2 away from 2 is 4. 2 away from 4 is, and 2 away from 6 is 8. And now we're going to plug those in. Now when you plug them in, we're going to use the negative. So -6 minus 1. So what is -6 minus 1? -7. What is the absolute value of -7? 7. But I want the opposite of +7, which is -7. So -7 plus 2 is -5. So now notice that before our y values, our y coordinates were positive. What do you think our y coordinates are going to be now? Negative, because it's going to make this a negative. So -4 minus 1, -5, the opposite, yes?
What would happen if there was a number with the negative in front of the absolute value?
There was like a -2 in front, then you would multiply it by that. So if there was a -2, you would take -2 times that number that was inside after you took the absolute value for it. So you always have to take the absolute value first, and then you can multiply. So it's basically we're multiplying everything by -1, but you don't do it until after you take the absolute value.
Okay.
So that's the most important part because a lot of kids still don't, they forget to take the absolute value. They multiply and then take the absolute value. That's not how it's done. Absolute value, then multiply. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. -4 minus 1, -5. The absolute value of -5, 5. The opposite of the opposite of +5, -5. -5 plus 2 is -3. So we're going to keep going through this. Okay, let's graph these points. So I'm going to go over to -6 to -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure I don't graph anything incorrect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, your vertex is the center of your absolute value. We're going to connect those. You guys, it is really important that however long your graph is, that your line goes through your entire graph. It should not just stop. It always needs to be the length of your graph. Okay, so so now what did the negative in the front of the absolute value do? Yeah, it opened it down. So if it's positive opens up, there's a negative in front, it opens down. So now what is my domain? So my domain hasn't changed, right? I can put in anything, so all real numbers. What is my range?
Y such as y is less than or equal to 2.
You got it.
I'm gonna say that, but
And you know how she got the 2?
because
It's the,
the very top.
yep, it's the vertex at the very top, and that's your y coordinate.